Ilaria was no ordinary kingdom. Here, magic was woven into daily life, swords glowed with runes, potions cured colds, and wizards fixed roofs with a flick. The Council of Light, a mix of battle-hardened generals, seers, and scholars, ruled from the crystal city of Astra, keeping peace in a land teeming with magical creatures and ambitious mages. For centuries, Ilaria thrived under their watchful eyes. Fields flourished, cities were safe, and people were content. But a shadow crept in. Whispers of an ancient evil returning, unsettling even the council. The royal family, beloved king, queen, and their daughter Princess Aurelia, became the center of this storm. When Aurelia vanished from her garden one night, panic spread. The darkness was no longer rumor, it had a name and a purpose. The kingdom held its breath, waiting for what would come next. Ilaria's age of peace was over. Enter Kyle, a bounty hunter, not a hero. His armor was battered, his life simple. Find what's lost, get paid, avoid politics. Summoned by the king, Kyle was offered a fortune to find the missing princess. But it was the pain in the royal eyes that convinced him. The trail led to the forest of the Cursed Dawn, a place where sunlight twisted, compasses spun, and monsters prowled. Kyle packed light sword, rope, rations, a few enchanted trinkets. His skills were his true weapon. He left the safety of the capital, following clues, a scrap of blue cloak, a strange footprint, into the darkness. Legends warned of the forest, but Kyle was undeterred. He was a hunter, and the hunt had begun. Find the princess, bring her back. Simple, except nothing in Ilaria was ever simple. The forest waited, ready to complicate everything. Kyle stepped into the shadows, determined. The forest swallowed Kyle in silence and cold. Light barely filtered through twisted branches, and every step echoed like a warning. The trail, Princess's delicate prints, monstrous claws, grew strange, vanishing and reappearing. Whispers slithered at the edge of hearing, shadows darted just out of sight. The forest played tricks, warping time and mind. While examining a golden hairpin, a creature of smoke and red eyes attacked, its touch icy, draining his strength. As Kyle faded, a voice echoed in his mind. The black dragon is not a beast. It is a key. The blood is the lock. They must not be united. Darkness claimed him. He fell, the forest victorious. For now. The last thing he felt was the ground, hard and cold. The hunt had only just begun. The true danger was still ahead. Kyle awoke in a dank cell, aching and disarmed. Across from him sat a young woman, sharp-eyed, robes torn, magic cuffs on her wrists. "Took you long enough," she quipped. "I'm Liana. Welcome to the Shadow Syndicate's hospitality." Kyle, groggy, asked, "Where are we? Who are you?" Liana explained, "We're prisoners of the Syndicate, the ones who took the princess. I'm a sorceress, or was before these cuffs." Despite the grim situation, Liana had a plan. "These cuffs block big magic, but not the small stuff." She sparked the cell lock with a tiny spell. The door creaked open. "Shall we?" she grinned, standing. Hope flickered. Kyle wasn't alone, and even a powerless sorceress was an ally. The escape was on. Together, they slipped into the darkness, ready to fight for freedom. The Syndicate wouldn't hold them for long. The real journey was just beginning. As they crept through the dungeon, every footstep echoed off the ancient stone, the air thick with secrets and the weight of centuries-old magic. Shadows flickered along the walls, and the group moved with silent urgency, knowing that discovery meant certain doom. Liana whispered the truth, her voice barely audible above the distant drip of water. The black dragon wasn't a monster but a weapon, an engine of destruction, forged in darkness to drain all magic from the world and channel it into a single, unstoppable force. It was a creation of fear, designed to tip the balance of power forever. The Shadow Syndicate, a cabal of sorcerers and traitors, wanted to rebuild it, using Princess Aurelia as the key to awaken its dormant power. Their plot was more sinister than anyone had imagined. "The ritual needs 3 things, Liana explained, her eyes darting nervously. Mount Nethera, the Dragon Eye Stone, a relic of unimaginable power and royal blood from a guardian line. Only with these can the Black Dragon be awakened, and its magic unleashed upon the world. The royal family's bloodline was the final code, a secret passed down through generations, hidden even from those who carried it. Aurelia isn't just a hostage. She's the key, Liana said, her voice trembling with urgency. Without her, the ritual fails. With her, the world could fall. Kyle realized this was bigger than a rescue. It was about stopping a magical apocalypse. Guardians? He asked, struggling to grasp the enormity. Ancient protectors, thought extinct. Legends say they once defended the realm from darkness, but their legacy was forgotten. The royal family forgot their true purpose, Liana replied. They were meant to guard the world, not just rule it. Now that legacy is all that stands between us and destruction. The Syndicate planned to use Aurelia's blood to unlock the weapon's power, unleashing chaos that could never be contained. We have to warn the Council, Liana urged, desperation in her eyes. If they don't act now, it will be too late. Their mission had changed. Save the princess, save the world. The fate of magic and of every living soul now hung by a thread. Time was running out. Kyle and Liana reached Astra, evading Syndicate patrols and surviving on wits and scraps. They told the Council of Light everything, about the Syndicate, the Black Dragon, and Aurelia's role. Some counselors were shocked, others skeptical. Lord Malachor, cold-eyed, seemed too interested. He promised action and offered them rooms to rest. That night, chaos erupted. Dragons with black scales attacked Astra, led by Malachor himself. He was the Syndicate's true leader. The Council fought back, but the city was in flames. Kyle and Liana escaped into the chaos, realizing Malachor had used them to learn the truth. Now, they had to reach the Dragon Eye Stone before him. The race was on, with Ilaria's fate hanging in the balance. The Dragon Eye Stone, a legendary artifact of unimaginable power, was hidden deep within the Tomb of the Kings, a place shrouded in myth and dread for centuries. Few dared even to speak of it, for the tomb was said to be cursed beyond all reason. The Time Thief's curse guarded the tomb. Every step inside stole precious years from your life, draining away time itself with every breath you took. The air was thick with the weight of lost centuries, and the walls seemed to whisper with the voices of those who had entered and never returned. Only those with guardian blood could hope to open the tomb's ancient door, for the lock was bound by magic older than the kingdom itself. Liana, carrying a faint trace of that sacred bloodline, managed to unlock the door after years of searching and sacrifice. The stone groaned open, revealing darkness and a chill that seemed to reach into their very bones. Inside, a cold, unnatural energy filled the chamber, sapping their strength and resolve. Every moment spent within those walls felt like a battle against invisible forces. Kyle felt his memories slipping away, as if the tomb itself was feeding on his past, faces and names blurring, moments vanishing like mist. Liana's hair, once dark, now streaked with silver as the curse took hold. Together, they solved ancient riddles, dodged deadly traps, and pressed forward, refusing to let the tomb defeat them. With every step, the curse aged them further, their bodies weakening, but their determination burning brighter. Time itself became their enemy, and every heartbeat was a race against oblivion. At the heart of the tomb, the Dragon Eye pulsed with a hypnotic light atop a pedestal, separated from them by a crumbling stone bridge suspended over a bottomless chasm. Liana, desperate to reach it, stepped forward, but the curse struck mercilessly, aging her decades in mere seconds. Her face lined, her strength faded, but her spirit did not break. Kyle, who had been less affected by the curse, summoned his last reserves of courage and dashed across the unstable bridge. He seized the Dragon Eye, feeling its power surge through him, and pulled Liana, now aged and frail, out of the tomb, just as the ancient doors slammed shut behind them. They had claimed the stone, but at a terrible cost. Liana's youth was lost forever, her body changed, but her resolve and courage remained unbroken. The final battle was drawing near, and she would not falter. Meanwhile, Malachor was already preparing to complete his dark ritual. Time was slipping away, and the fate of the world hung in the balance. With the Dragon Eye in hand, its ancient power pulsing through his veins, Kyle felt the weight of centuries-old prophecies settle on his shoulders. The artifact shimmered with a light that seemed to pierce the encroaching darkness, a beacon of hope in a world on the brink of ruin. And Liana, now aged and weary from years of sacrifice, watched as hope seemed to slip away. The forest around her, once vibrant, now stood silent and shrouded in mist, echoing her sorrow and the fading dreams of Ilaria. Then, urgent news shattered the silence. Malachor had captured Princess Aurelia. The kingdom's last light was in peril, and the shadows grew ever longer. Malachor was making his way to the dreaded Mount Nethera, a place whispered about in fearful legends, to begin the dark ritual that would awaken the Black Dragon and plunge the world into chaos. In a final act of courage, Lyanna revealed the last secret she had guarded for decades. The curse that had devastated so many had barely touched Kyle. He was different, marked by fate. For Kyle was the last guardian. His bloodline alone could either command or destroy the Black Dragon, holding the key to Illaria's salvation or doom. The truth ignited a dormant power within him. Ancient energy surged and his resolve hardened. He was no longer just a bystander in this tale. The Dragon Eye responded, glowing fiercely in his grasp as if recognizing its true master at last. Without hesitation, Kyle raced through the haunted forests and up the treacherous mountain paths toward Mount Nethera, every step echoing with destiny. He arrived just as Malachor, cloaked in shadow, began the unholy summoning. The monstrous black dragon emerged, its roar shaking the very earth. Princess Aurelia, bound in chains, her life force ebbing away, looked on in terror. Malachor, triumphant and cruel, taunted Kyle, certain of his victory. But Kyle, his sword ablaze with guardian light, charged forward, heart pounding with courage and desperation. The final battle erupted, guardian against dragon, light clashing with darkness in a storm of fury and hope. The fate of Illaria hung by a thread. Kyle's destiny, once uncertain, now blazed before him like a guiding star. He was no longer just a hunter, he had become the legend foretold in ancient songs. In that moment, he was the world's last hope, the shield against oblivion. The mountain trembled with the force of their clash, ancient powers colliding in a battle that would echo through history. The end, or perhaps a new beginning, was only moments away, suspended in the balance of fate. The legend of the last guardian would be written in blood and light. Only one would stand, and the world would never be the same. The battle was epic. Kyle, now the Guardian, faced the Black Dragon and Malachor atop Mount Nethera. Using his blood right, Kyle poured his life force into the Dragon Eye, unleashing a blinding golden light. The Black Dragon imploded, Malachor destroyed by his own ambition. When the light faded, the princess was safe, the Dragon Eye lifeless, and Kyle was gone. Illaria mourned its hero, but the land healed. Aurelia recovered, Lyanna guided the council, and peace returned. Kyle's sacrifice became legend. Yet in distant villages, travelers whispered of a quiet knight in battered armor, always accompanied by a playful, cat-sized black dragon with golden eyes. Some say legends never die, they just find new roads to walk, and in Illaria, hope was reborn.